So I'm not going to talk about myself, and that was just really inspiring and kind of sad. And so right now we're not going to be sad. We maybe will be inspired. I've got Stephen here with me. I've got Aubrey, and we're going to talk about the reason that our church has been around for 188 years. So that's the first one. So the first one, let me take these little guys from you. Sorry about that, Stephen. Okay, our church is 188 years old. And the reason it is because of one thing. And that thing is trust. It's trust in God. And it's trust that no matter what happens, God is the author of our lives. He's the author of our creation. And he holds everything in his hands. And I just want to say, we mentioned how many years Ray has been a part of our church. Guys, in 1920, there was a really big worldwide pandemic where everyone had the influenza. The influenza epidemic happened and a lot of people died. This church was a part of the community back in those days, and the people of the church, of this church in 1920, had this huge faith in God that he was going to see them through. And so I thought that Stephen would be a really great example of how we could illustrate that. So when you think about the word trust, and you think about people that you have trust in, you might think that you are a pretty trusting person. Stephen's feeling nervous right now. It's okay, Stephen. I just want to say, Stephen's my friend. Stephen, do you trust me?
Yeah.
Okay, he feels a little bit uncomfortable, but I have a glass of water here, and so I have this handy little card. I'm going to do a magic trick, and I thought Stephen would be a perfect person to do this magic trick. So just like hard times come in our lives, this cup of water, you can see the water there, it's actual water. There are hard times in our lives and they act kind of like this water. And sometimes you're like, oh, I can hold water in my hand, it's fine. But other times in our lives, the water really wants to press down and it wants to make us feel like there is no way out of the hard times in our lives. So watch what I'm going to do. This is so cool. I'm going to turn the water upside down, and there's still water. I'm not going to make it disappear. But what happens is there's a little bit of water that's coming out. Oh, okay, hang on. Just sit there for a minute. It's okay, I have extra cards. It's okay. My hand isn't quite big enough. That was just a practice. No, because I don't think that'll work. Okay, I did try this at home, so you could try this at home too. I know Stephen's feeling real good about this activity.
It does work, Rebecca.
Pam has experience too. I practiced this at my house, but now my hands are. So anyway, hard times are supposed to come in your lives, and when your hard times come, they are the water that is pressing down on your whole life. So let's try this again. Oh man, this is really bad. It's not actually supposed to do that. I'm gonna have to try Aubrey Marshall's.
This is a hard time.
This is a hard time. I told you, hard times come. I told you that hard. Okay, so see, that's why Aubrey's here. She's here. So you can just hold that one for safety's sake. So, I picked this cup from my house because it's got this small mouth, but apparently my hands are okay. Okay, so anyway, what happens is the hard times come in your life. Let's try it this way. Now, see, water came out, and that's okay because sometimes the hard times rain on our head, and you feel like it's never going to stop raining, like maybe in the month of August this year, and there's just a lot of rain. But what is supposed to happen is, hang on. So when the hard times come, you can sit underneath the hard times, like Stephen here. You can sit underneath the hard times, and look how confident he is. Yeah, he's really confident. And the reason that he's confident is because he has trust in his friendship with me. See how happy he is? He feels good. And the reason he feels happy is because he has just a little bit of trust in me. I'm his neighbor too. I'm his neighbor too. Sorry about that. But even more so than a cup of water with some index cards is the trust that we have in God. And the trust in God is that no matter what happens, we can sit underneath this really scary amount of water over our heads. And God's a lot stronger than an index card or two. And he won't fail us. Aubrey, can you show us, we have some really nice
verse is here. The verse from Psalms, this is actually one I had my kids memorize when they were little. It says, when I am afraid, I will trust in God. And the reason I love that verse, first of all, it's really short and it's simple, but also it doesn't say if I am afraid. It says when I am afraid, because we'll all be afraid. And a lot of people even now are afraid of this pandemic because it just is really long. But we can trust in God, just like Stephen sat here and he might have been a little nervous on the inside, but he was okay because he had this trust. And this is an example of the trust you can have in God. One more, Aubrey, from, I don't know where it's from.
What is it?
What is that one? This one, turn it this way. It's from Joshua, that's right. So Joshua says, remember, I commanded you to be strong and brave. Don't be afraid, because the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And so as our church goes into its almost 200th year in the next few years, we don't have to be afraid, because the Lord will never not be with us. And so that's your lesson to take from today. Okay, thanks, guys.